After an exciting PGA championship with Justin Thomas coming from behind at Southern Hills, we head a little bit south to a very similar course. In fact, designed by the exact same architect in the exact same year as Southern Hills. We are at Colonial for the Charles Schwab Classic for a course preview and my picks. Check it out next. What up, everybody? It's your boy, DFS Up North, aka Josh Thomas, here with another Fourth Odds PGA podcast. DFS Army, you know the drill. Up North, 10% off for a VIP membership. Gets you access to everything. We're here this week to talk about the Charles Schwab Challenge at Colonial. This is an event that's been happening for years and years and years. The name's changed about 1,000 times. It used to be the Dean and DeLuca, and now it's the Charles Schwab Challenge. Whatever. It's at Colonial. It's a classic track, and I'm excited to break it down for you guys. All right. But first, let's talk about last week. PGA Justin Thomas from a 0.1% chance to win early in the round to coming out. Mito Pereira, Jean Van de Velding, the 18th hole. Justin Thomas coming from behind, playing Will Zalatoris in that 3-hole aggregate, crushing it. Super exciting and fun golf to watch. And he's currently in the field this week. I'm filming this here on Tuesday night. I cannot believe that Justin Thomas is going to play this week. I can't believe that Mito Pereira is going to play this week after blowing his first ever major championship last week. But right now, those guys are in the field. So it's going to be an interesting week. So Charles Schwab Challenge, again, DFS Army, Up North, gets you 10% off for life. You get access to all of our tools, all of our data, the research station, the domination station to build a million lineups if you want to, but also access to all of our other tools as well. NHL is in the playoffs right now. Our NHL guys crushed. They were number 1 on Daily Overlay this year, ranking guys. So really excited about playing, NHL DFS in the playoffs here. So if you want to become a DFS Army member, use that code Up North, gets 10% off. You can DM me on Twitter at DFS Up North. If you're already a Discord member and you have questions about anything, hit me up. We'll talk about it. So Colonial Country Club, 1936, Perry Maxwell design. Maxwell also designed Southern Hills in 1936 as well. The guy was pretty busy, right? Colonial Country Club's hosted this event since 1946. Longest running event on the PGA Tour, held at the same location. It's had about 4,000 different names. But it's a really fun course. All right. Par 35, 70, 7209 on the yardage. We really haven't seen a play like that. We've seen it play in the last 7 years. It's gone from about 6,900 to now just creeping over 7,000. I'd be impressed if they played it at 7,200 this year. I don't think that happens. All right. Again, this course is very, very similar to Southern Hills. Green size, 5,000 square feet. Very similar. The difference here is that the greens will not be as undulating as they are at Southern Hills. So they'll be able to speed these greens up a little bit. They won't have to worry about balls, falling off the green and things like that. And guys will make a few more putts. Lots of sand bunkers. All right. Or not a lot, but a decent amount of water hazards. 4 water hazards, holes, waters in play is 6. We got bent grass. We got Bermuda in the fairway, Bermuda mix in the rough at 3 inches. So the rough's going to be a little bit longer this week. Also about this course, we have tree lined fairways. All right. And you can get away with missing it really wide left, but if you are in the trees, you a lot of times are going to be blocked off by branches, and you're going to have to punch it out and find your way to the green from there. So there's a big time premium placed on hitting fairways this week. Now here's the trick. It's people talk about it like, oh, you don't hit, driving accuracy was something we should look at. And the reality is that no, because driving accuracy just looks at you hitting the driver. All right. Shot length data is broken down like that. So how many fairways are you hitting? It really just depends on, a number of different things, but it's not just driver, right? So Tony Finau hits at 320, 350 off the tee, whatever. He's going to club down here. All right. There's this idea that this is a less than driver course. And I think in some senses it is. It's less drivers than like a normal par 70 per se. We do see that the driving distance is about 280. Average on tour is 289. So it's a little bit shorter. But don't fall into this narrative that it is a drive, less than like the guys aren't going to hit any drivers here at all, because they're going to hit about 10, 12 drivers here. Maybe that's too many, 8, 9. But some of the longer guys will hit 3-wood. They will hit iron off the tee. But they are going to be forced to maybe lay back a little bit. They're not going to be able to pound it out there as far as they want, because they need to, find these fairways. So tight tree line fairways, emphasis on finding the fairway so that you can attack these greens. The greens are pretty small. All right. So if you are on the green, you are going to have a chance at a birdie, right? And the average score to par is just a little bit over par. Average cut line's around 2 over the last 7 years. Talked about that increase in driving distance. It's a fun course. I like Colonial a lot, and we've seen a variety of different guys win here. We've seen Justin Rose win. We've seen Kevin Na, Jason Kokrak, Jordan Spieth crushes here every single year. So a lot of guys with different skill sets are able to get it done here. But the main key that we see with some of the winners here is that they are able to really be good with their irons. All right. So Jason Kokrak was second in the field in strokes gained tee to green. Daniel Berger did everything well that week. Didn't lead anything. It was the first event back from COVID. Really, Colin Morikawa should have won this event. He just putted terribly, especially in the playoff. Left one on just a bad read back in 2020, and basically gifted a win to Daniel Berger. But coincidentally, Colin Morikawa led the field in strokes gained tee to green. Kevin Na, weirdly, led the field in strokes gained approach. We are very, very used to him leading the field in putting, but if your irons are on and you can putt a little bit, you're going to be in good shape. Justin Rose led the field in strokes gained approach that week. So iron play is key here. If you are getting it tight, you're on and basically on the green. You're giving yourself a good chance at birdie. All right. Patience is going to be key this week again. Guys not forcing the issue a lot. So kind of that same mold of golfer that we were looking at last week is kind of what we're going to look for again here. So wind this week, not going to be crazy. Right now we're looking at, pretty standard sort of Texas wind during the day on Thursday. No real wave advantage as far as I see right now. As we get into Friday, the morning's going to be a little bit lighter than the afternoon. So maybe there's a little PM AM advantage on the wave. We did see a big 2-stroke difference last week, but if you stacked all AM PM, you missed the winner because Justin Thomas came out of the bad wave, and that's the risk that you take if you decide that you are going to do a wave advantage. So talk a little bit about my core plays this week. Starting at the top, I'm not overthinking it. I think sometimes you do this in DFS golf. Actually, in pretty much every DFS sport, is we overthink it. The good plays, they're going to be 2-owned. Whatever. Good plays are good plays are good plays. Good plays are good plays for a reason. Jordan Spieth is one of the best golfers in the world. He's one of the hottest golfers on the planet right now, despite maybe finishing 36th last week. He is coming to Colonial that he's absolutely crushed at, and he's not the most expensive option on the board. Lock and load. I put in my cheat sheet this week that I'm looking at like 80 to 100% Jordan Spieth. I'm willing to take that risk on him this week because I think he is that good of a play. I have that much confidence in his ability to pay off his salary. And because of that, he's going to be high owned. So how do I get leverage on the field? How do I leverage that belief in him? Is that I just need to go way, way, way over. Texas boy playing in Texas. Of course he crushes. I'm not overthinking it. Finau's got really, really good history here as well. I love course that maybe forces the driver out of his hand a little bit or makes him lay back a little bit on it. I thought he looked really, really strong at the Southern Hills last week at the PGA Championship. Outside of his outfit choices, this man, I know that he is in debt to some people and he's had lawsuits and whatever, but I don't know who, they either don't like him at Nike or they're like, okay, Tony, you owe us. So anything that we make that is terrible, that is not selling, you have to wear it on the course. He wore a shirt, a quarter zip on Sunday that looked like a couch that my grandma has, and she's 86 years old. I get styles coming back, things like that, but it was embarrassing. And despite that, he played really, really well. So I love the price on Finau this week at 9,100. I don't think he's going to fly under the radar, but I don't think he's going to be as high owned as maybe some others think. I think that this is just such a great course for him. I'd love to see that he played well at Southern Hills last week. and I'm going to be on him here. Justin Rose, former winner here, showed some life last week. It's kind of been, there's been signs that Rose is starting to come back, but it turned into a result. He was able to score last week, finished 13th at Southern Hills, did it with his irons. Really, really good iron play. Putter was okay, not great. We know that he can heat up with the putter. But if his iron play is going to be good, he can hit that 3-wood. He can hit those, he's a pretty accurate driver. He can gain strokes off the tee and did that last week. If he's going to do that again, love him at 7,700 on DraftKings, 9,900 on FanDuel is a solid price as well. And then my last core play. All right. I had Finau, Spieth, pretty high priced. Rose right in the middle. Now I'm going to drop down to give me some movement up top, and that's Dougie Gim, 6,700 DraftKings. Just rates out really, really well for me here. He does a lot of things well. He's an elite ball striker, one of the best in the field. And we know that strokes gain approach is what gets it done here. He's had decent results here. One miscut, one top 15, I believe. And the top 15 was his last time playing here. I always call him Justin Thomas Jr. because any course that Justin Thomas does well on, Doug Gim typically plays well as well. They have similar skill sets, not in like the killer instinct of JT, of just like good at approach, not great putter, decent around the greens, good off the tee, right? They're very similar players in that sense. So again, Justin Thomas crushed Southern Hills, similar track. Now coming here, I think he's a great play if he tees it up this week, especially because people are going to be off him because of like, oh, he just won the PGA, whatever. Like if Doug Gim, that's why I think Doug Gim is just a great play. Another good course fit for him. He's shown that he can play here. And Dougie Gimchi is my boy. My one sneaky play this week, because he's so cheap, and I'm going to give him to you guys on the pod here, is Kurt Kitayama. Smashed. Should have won Mexico Open. Played really well in Texas. Didn't get to play last week. Now comes out here. And you might think, okay, well, how's he doing? Well, he just played in the 36-hole qualifier on Monday for the U.S. Open. Medalist, tied with Matthew Neesmith. Shot -11. So crushing. Like he's just playing too good right now to be that price. So get Kurt Kitayama in your lineups. He's a good iron player, but more importantly, guy puts the lights out. If this thing turns into a putting contest, I'm really high on him. My fade of the week is going to be Will Zalatoris. This might come back to bite me, but I just don't think he puts well enough to do well here. You look at some of like the former winners here, guys that you got. Kokrak, pretty good putter. Berger, really good putter. Right now, he's in trouble. Kevin Na, elite putter. Rosie, that week, unreal putter. And is a pretty good putter overall. Pretty much a lock from 8 to 10 feet. So I really, really, really think that Will Zalatoris, he's going to have to be God mode with his irons if he's going to compete. The other guy that I don't like up there is Victor Hovland. We faded him last week because his around the green game sucks, right? Similar course this week. People are going to be on a bounce back. If I'm gonna pay up there, I'm playing Jordan, or I'm gonna play leverage on Justin Thomas or Scotty Scheffler, right? I'm not messing with that. So that's what we got this week, boys and girls. Again, let's slide back here. Come win with us at DFS Army. Use that code up north, gets you 10% off for life. I know this was a short one this week. Next week we'll go back, or next week we will get a whole DS breakdown. I'll talk about some things there. We'll re-go over all that and show you guys some more of the tools. Charles Schwab Challenge. Get into it. Let's go, people. DFS Army. Cheers.